Welcome back, viewers, fans, and chill. I think everyone is excited to see the outcome of this match.
Yeah, especially chill. And as we've alluded to here, this is a big match, man. After we've seen in Game 1 what both these players are capable of. Good game, good luck. Vulture, TT, and there's no vultures in StarCraft 2, just FruitDealer.
I'm really trying hard to parse that. I mean, perhaps he's just an ornithologist and just likes birds a lot.
It's a possibility here. Game number 2, we are on Terminus RE, Terminus Re, Game 2 Re, and we have FruitDealer again scouting in the wrong position, spawning in the 6 o'clock as a blue Zerg. My personal man crush is over at the 3 o'clock, and that is Prae.ThorZaIN doing his little SCV pairing so nicely as the red Terran.
And look at this, he's already building a supply depot in the middle of his mineral patch. Now, don't worry, he can always burrow that, so that way it will not interrupt the mining time, but I wouldn't be surprised if ThorZaIN just left it unburrowed, because he just needs to give a little bit of an advantage back to FruitDealer. That handicap is important.
And looks like he's actually not building a... Whoa, my god, is he gonna build a command center?
Uh-oh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He is rallying the SCV
and excited.
Oh, this is so awesome. I'd like to give a huge shout out to the two teams of these players. Team SCV Life for FruitDealer and the Prae team. I mean, I really... Oh my god. What? He's what? Oh my gosh, this is brilliant. This is so incredibly brilliant. I cannot emphasize enough how smart this is. Look at this. We see FruitDealer. FruitDealer's going to arrive in the base. He sees absolutely nothing. He sees no expansion. He sees no barracks. He is going to be 100% convinced that there is some sort of cheese coming. I really wish ThorZaIN didn't build that barracks because this is the moment for FruitDealer to really panic. But I think FruitDealer is starting to piece the puzzle together. He sees that barracks and he says, wait a minute. And there it is.
Oh, okay. So let's see how FruitDealer responds to this. He could, of course, do any sort of early aggression, try to blow down the inevitable wall that ThorZaIN is going to try to construct there with speedlings, or he can just say, you know what, you want a macro game, so do I. Throw down hatches number 3 and 4 and take this to the late game. It's kind of in the Zerg's hands here.
It does look like that. One pesky little drone trying to do its best to delay this as much as possible. A real question I have is ThorZaIN actually going to take a third command center? Is he going to move this command center back? He may very well, but again, trying to scoot things over to make it a little bit easier to defend.
Yeah, I think he will take his natural after it's was just a little bit hidden here. But no, he's actually rallying it to the third base and turning that into an orbital. Yes. So probably going to see a third command center once this wall is complete, and that's very risky and very manly, as we've got the first 2 Zerglings out for FruitDealer trying to take out the scouting SCV of ThorZaIN as he moves in and sees there's indeed not a third hatchery yet for our Zerg player, FruitDealer. Production tab showing that he's actually making a roach warren.
Oh, wow. That's actually a very clear indication that there's going to be some aggression coming out of FruitDealer. We see ThorZaIN continuing to rally back those Marines, and you know what? The third base at that location could be a very smart way to exploit that rich Vespine geyser that gives you 6 gas upon return instead of the usual 4. As we know, it's pretty difficult to saturate really easily in this game, so that does mean that ThorZaIN is going to go for a third command center to hell with anything I was saying. My god, he has cojones of steel.
And he's actually pushing forward with a few Marines here. He's got 5 Marines out on the map as 2 Zerglings try to do some scouting. You're going to see the
standard timing push after the double fast expo.
The ThorZaIN push. Command center, 5 Marines. But, you know, the benefit here is he's going to see these 7 roaches, which are in production, and he needs to get on his horse and start building some bunkers immediately. But he's going to target down the Overlord. Is he going to finish it? Yes! And now he's going to run away. Roaches trying to catch up to those Marines, but this is the slowest race I've ever seen. He needs to start building more bunkers. He's got 1 going up just outside his wall, trying to get another, and he's actually supply blocked.
Oh no! A terrible position to be in the midst of this counterattack by FruitDealer. Oh, and there's the re-wall off with the bunker. Notice as well that that rich Vespene Geyser is now being exploited. Very cool play by ThorZaIN, the double expand, but making sure he does it in the right order to get enough gas in the meantime. Very bold lift there by ThorZaIN. He loads back up into the bunker, but he's taking damage. He's going to be rebuilding another bunker, but look in the main, we see barracks galore getting planted. And ooh, what a very nice little scoot back, but it looks like FruitDealer not going to be able to squeeze in through the cracks at the last second. Now finally, unsupply block. ThorZaIN doing damage from afar, and FruitDealer taking his third. How will FruitDealer answer this crazy opening by ThorZaIN?
Yeah, I think had FruitDealer committed to an all-in, it may have broken ThorZaIN, but looks like that's not the case. He just wants to harass the wall in, put on a little pressure, make ThorZaIN feel uncomfortable. Keep in mind, ThorZaIN is not scanning. He's not aware of what FruitDealer is doing in the main base. He may have been able to piece together, okay, there's no roach reinforcements, so I don't need to worry about an all-in too much, but still, the roach is dealing damage on the wall, taking down that barracks actually as it's canceled. Now he's got the Tech Lab add-on starting to make Marauders, and 2 more barracks in his main base, so he is going to live it, but he can't feel like he's in the most comfortable of positions. However, once he realizes he's not in immediate danger, and he's got those 3 command centers up, he's going to be feeling pretty good.
I mean, if we just even go to the income tab, we're slowly going to see that income level from ThorZaIN just erupt. We do see that there's a good buildup of energy there, and holy barracks, Batman. Look at ThorZaIN having 5 barracks in the main and 2 at the front. He's going to be churning out for a gigantic timing push. FruitDealer now building a Baneling nest. Doesn't even have time to get a lair. It is amazing that we are at minute 9, and already FruitDealer is looking to be under a ton of pressure.
Right, and I mean, FruitDealer hasn't found the time or the economy to put up a 4th base, and I don't know when he's going to find that time. Baneling Nest about to complete. No research really on the way for FruitDealer. Just trying to get that layer up as it's nearing completion. Then we'll see how he transitions out of that. But if ThorZaIN knows his timings, which I'd imagine he will, he seems like a very practiced player, then he's going to be able to move out and hit a very nice timing off these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 barracks that he's building. Combat shields about halfway done. Stim is now complete, beginning Terran infantry weapons level 1.
This is amazing, the 1-1 upgrades, and notice that all of this was done off that 1 rich Vespene Geyser. So cool to see how much he can get away with. It looks like FruitDealer is going to be going for the slightly uncomfortable all-speed defense. If you get a layer somewhat quickly in this matchup, you can get the roach speed, the baneling speed. You're a little bit low tech, but you're hoping your opponent does a mid-game push that you can crush. This is exactly the sort of push that FruitDealer is almost hoping his opponent will do. Needs to morph those Banelings. Look at that, 14 Banelings getting morphed. This could be huge. And ThorZaIN again with the scan to pick off the creep tumors.
Yeah, he needs to be careful he doesn't get too aggressive here. Scanning yet again, he sees all the Banelings, and that's going to trigger a stim as he tries to mic around a little bit. Baneling speed, of course, not complete as that layer just finishes, running the Marines away, trying to take damage with the Marauders. Very nice spread there. But I think FruitDealer got the benefit of that, now running in with the Marauders to soak up all the Banelings. You know, ThorZaIN donated a large portion of his army there, but he kept a lot of pressure on FruitDealer, isolated a lot of the creep tumors, and look back at his naturals. He's got another army ready to go, so I don't think he's going to miss those units all that much.
And 3 factories going down right now for ThorZaIN. Just phenomenal macro mode. We rarely ever see something of this caliber. Armory going down at the back so we can get the 2-2 upgrades. ThorZaIN looking imbalanced as all hell. I cannot believe it. FruitDealer barely able to have his +1 melee for those Zerglings catch up to that 1-1. And there's the scan. ThorZaIN is hacking. He knows exactly what his opponent is doing. FruitDealer trying to retreat with that queen, and the queen is going to get picked off like nothing. ThorZaIN running in again. FruitDealer begging for those Banelings to finish in time, but ThorZaIN controlling very well, picking off everything at the front side.
Yeah, Banelings do complete. Looks like ThorZaIN is going to stay aggressive, stimming yet again a lot of those Marines. Oh my god! Ow. Spreads like a champ and mitigates a lot of the damage there that could have been caused by those Banelings. Again, donating those units, but again, I'm looking directly back to the rally point of ThorZaIN, and he's ready to go. That 1 bunker is filled with Marines, and I heard something loading, I think, or no, that was a barracks flying off. The reactor at Starport making a Viking, so maybe he's actually going to fly around. I'm not sure if he's going to scout around with that or fly around and start picking off Overlords. Very unique decision there.
Now check out the food differential. We see that FruitDealer no longer way far behind the opponent with those few couple of defenses. He's managed to regain a little bit of foothold on the map, and that's exactly what a Zerg player who's going for a speedy unit mix, the Roach, Baneling, Zergling mid-game is begging for, is just hoping the opponent begins getting too aggressive, makes some mistakes. But my god, ThorZaIN being so aggressive, you know? These 3 factories, to me, doesn't say, I want to do a big mass tank play. I think that's another way of saying, I want to push with a normal amount of tanks fast. So I think we're going to see another attack coming out of ThorZaIN real soon.
And we have that Viking out, clearing out Overlords. Meanwhile, the medevac drop moving into the third base of FruitDealer. He spots it with the Overlord. Let's see on his vision if he recalls his units. Looks like he's not completely aware of it. Now pulling all the drones, but the Marine's able to stim and going to target down that extractor. He realizes he probably does not have enough time to take out the hatchery, but just going to be annoying.
Wow.
FruitDealer gathering up all his army, and looks like ThorZaIN is well aware of that. Going to fly away as quickly as possible, and using that Viking yet again to clear out that Overlord, but as Artosis would say, that Viking is not long for this world.
And you know, one thing to note about that drop at the bottom corner, the Roaches couldn't get back to defend, because look right outside the entrance of FruitDealer's natural expansion. No more creep given those early scans and early pressure by ThorZaIN. He's really denying the mobility of FruitDealer in the late game by putting pressure on in the early game. It looks like FruitDealer's Mutalisks are going to be able to pick off those Marines by that Xel'Naga Watchtower. So for once, ThorZaIN is having to play a little bit back, but look at this attack chill right as 2-2 and the +1 for vehicle weapons is wrapping up.
Yeah, and his map hack is still working as he scans directly on those Banelings. Actually, he did see them burrow, but we'll see if he's hacking as he moves towards these 2 burrowed Banelings. And yes, indeed, he is a hacking. You heard it here first, 100%. Moving forward with this beefy, scary army, backed by siege tanks. Look how safe ThorZaIN is playing. He's not moving forward, trying to take a position, then flying away. But in the bottom right, the medevac being taken out by the Mutalisks. Now the Mutalisks able to return back and deal with this army. But ThorZaIN playing so safely. He's not in a rush to get into position. He's moving forward, sieging, scanning. And oh my god, the Mutas!
I just cannot emphasize enough how bad that is going to turn out for FruitDealer. He only has 8 Mutalisks right now and loses another one. To a nice shot on that Thor. We do see that the turret also doing damage. Another Mutalisk get picks off. His muta count is down to 5 and rapidly diminishing. That means there's going to be almost no ability for him to defend against any sort of reinforcements. Look at ThorZaIN spreading out in the middle of the map, controlling the watchtowers on the high ground, on the low ground. FruitDealer's Expo under a lot of pressure. The expansion is now clear for ThorZaIN to take, moving forward with just a couple of Marines. There's the Queen. The Queen will get taken out. In the top left side, we see a whole bunch of Roaches, Banelings, and Zerglings moving across.
Yeah, it looks like FruitDealer has correctly identified his only chance as a counterattack, trying to cut off reinforcements with these Zerglings being cut to shreds by the long siege line of ThorZaIN. Banelings going down under heavy tank fire, trying to burrow those Banelings. Are they going to catch the Marines? They're standing on the top. FruitDealer's just praying, but it does not pay off. This time, ThorZaIN having reinforcing units able to take off the Roaches. Meanwhile, he takes out the 4th base. The Marines are still pressing forward, and FruitDealer only has these burrowed Banelings in the middle of the map, which he's just praying. For some reason, ThorZaIN moves his entire army over top, presses hold, and waits.
But it looks like we're seeing ThorZaIN just sneak right by the right side, retaking that 4th base. FruitDealer now building 2 additional hatches in his main. He is so high on money. He needs to just pray he can get a high enough Zergling count. But we see the FruitDealer is not even producing any units at this point, losing a couple more Mutalisks, now retreating back to the bottom right side. And it looks like ThorZaIN is going to continue this slow wall of death towards FruitDealer's base.
You know, the income tab shows they're largely similar. Actually, FruitDealer getting the better of the income, which is surprising. ThorZaIN in a bit of a transition period with his SCVs. But the supplies are telling the tale. 200 for ThorZaIN. Meanwhile, FruitDealer only at 156. And his army just does not look scary. He's got a lot of mutas trying to deal a lot of damage. But Stim Marines able to take out and drive out the majority of those mutas. Actually chasing them down, putting them in a full retreat. And now ThorZaIN has his sights set on the main base. He's completed the push to the isolating choke of FruitDealer, and FruitDealer can feel the noose tightening around his neck.
We see that those Mutalisks swing back around, doing a nice counterattack. He's still trying to revolve around these Banelings, hoping to do a little bit of damage with some sort of bait. And there's a very nice little bait, not unburrowing all the Banelings, just a couple. And it looks like we see a Nidus worm in the main, and it looks like FruitDealer is going to try to go for a huge counterattack play.
Oh my god, his entire army standing around waiting for that. This is his one chance to try to do this. Turrets going up. Nidus flying to the main base. Where's the Nidus going to go? He checks the smoky area. There's nothing available there. Is he going to build it?
Looks like he's going to try to pick off these missile turrets first. He wants it to be hidden. He wants his attack to do maximum damage. They're gone. Let's see if he ends up trying to sneak it in. And there's the Nidus Worm going down. So it looks like ThorZaIN has a very immobile army of tanks, Marines, and Thors. This is going to be huge. Everything is currently loaded into that Nidus network.
And looks like ThorZaIN somehow catches wind of it. Nidus network going to fit. Oh my god, he didn't see it. Everything is unloading into the main base of ThorZaIN. Let's see what he does. He decides to push forward. He's not going to come back. He's going to go for it as FruitDealer is trying to take out everything, and those units are funneling out one at a time. ThorZaIN just moves into the natural FruitDealer, cutting down the reinforcing army very quickly and trying to end this game.
We do see in the top left, FruitDealer has thrown down a Nidus Worm, trying to extend the game by hoping to conquer the top left side of the map to get some better economy. We see more Banelings rolling on out. It looks like ThorZaIN going to sack his main base, set up a defensive stronghold right at his natural expansion. The third base is falling for FruitDealer. The second base already gone. FruitDealer down to just his main FruitDealer, hoping to get some huge hits with the Banelings, but no! Tanks picking off everything. Incredible control by ThorZaIN, and he just has so many mech units, even getting that Terran building armor upgrade. We do see the ThorZaIN's Marines are 3-3. We see a lot of Banelings still loaded into that Nidus network, and there, a huge outpouring of Banelings, but ThorZaIN still having seemingly enough units to hold on for a little bit longer.
ThorZaIN's so good. He says no to the base trade. He says, I'll just take your base and not even give you mine. Able to hold the siege line tight. Here comes the Queen, and she's not looking too hot right now. As taken out, and there's the GG. ThorZaIN does it 2-0. Shout out to the 5 people who predicted that. You are my heroes, and I love you, ThorZaIN. Good God.
I cannot believe it. ThorZaIN demolishing FruitDealer. The series was not close. From second 8 of the second game, you and I were blown away at ThorZaIN's planning with the early expand to the high gas yield expansion and then the double expand. Just incredible job by ThorZaIN.
Yeah, and his play was risky, taking that early expansion, but it never looked weak. It never looked too vulnerable. He scouted well. He put on that little bit of pressure with those 5 Marines, and that was able to give him the scouting information that he needed, that the roaches were coming. He threw down the bunkers, had a bit of a backup plan to lift up his wall. He never really looked vulnerable ever in this entire series, and that's what I always look for when I'm trying to follow a player. Is he solid? And I would have to say yes, ThorZaIN is solid.
I cannot believe how solid that was. That was just, and it wasn't solid in a standard way. It was incredible. The unit movement he employed, the transitions, the way he walled himself off, his overall build orders. ThorZaIN should be extremely pleased with himself, as should his team. Prae, that is just an amazing job.
And as you move into making money from StarCraft 2, becoming a big name, a huge part of it is getting your name out there, becoming a household name. And, I don't even know how many people are on the stream, something like 35,000 plus, and seeing a game like that and what you're capable of, when the future tournaments are coming, they're going to be knocking on your door. So incredible job by ThorZaIN. I think he made a lot of fans today, and I definitely know I'm one of them.
Absolutely. Create the ThorZaIN fan club. Sign me up as member number 2. I mean, I even remember when we were casting ThorZaIN against Adele Scott, constantly saying that, ThorZaIN's a good player, but he's one of those generic, solid Terran Europeans. He hadn't had any huge, major wins and a lot of noteworthy Terrans. I mean, and really, today, in the round of 32, even if he gets eliminated next round, he has that victory that he can always point back to, that they will be able to say he won a TSL qualifier, and then he knocked out FruitDealer round 1. And now it is up to his teammate Night End in this next match to prove that the foreigners are, in fact, ready to compete with those Koreans, as we bring you Slayer's Boxer against Prae Night End.
So, I'm getting a little bit nostalgic here, Day. When we started the TSL1, it was our dream to have it eventually become, as big as an MSL, as big as an OSL, but for the foreign community and actually to invite the Koreans over. And this was always the dream, to have Slayer's Boxer playing in a TSL. And this day is going to be the day when that becomes a reality,